At mid-Ohio, that is 170 miles in this 75. Not get a schedule posted out like I had said I did on the stream last night. By the time that race got over yesterday, didn't have much time before I went to bed because I had to be up at 4 o'clock. Staying up late tonight though, just putting some last minute tweaks on it by the time I got home. Another early work day at work the next couple days yet. And obviously with the spread of the coronavirus, that is definitely messing with my work schedule and everything else. And I'll get more into that when I go into the actual schedule video that will be posted tonight for sure. Not long after this race. Again, very, very close to finishing with the editing. So, of course, more on that coming up then. For now, we're going to get this race started. We qualified 4th, but we will start 3rd because one of the drivers that actually qualified in the top 3 is going to the rear of the field. I do know Austin Cindric. Oh, no, Cindric's still there. Okay, so I was going to say. Justin Allgaier on the pole. Austin Cindric and Austin Cindric and somebody else. Didn't see who it was. Justin Haley. Haley starting 2nd, so we're going to be led to the green flag here by the number 7, Justin Allgaier. Green flag in the air in Mid-Ohio. 20 laps in the opening stage of the race, taking it 3 wide into the first turn already. Christopher Bell looking for the race lead, and we're going to take the lead off of turn 1 at Mid-Ohio Motorsports Park. Definitely want to win this race. My home racetrack as far as my home state is considered here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Got the controller for this race here tonight. This is definitely going to be a fun one, that is for sure. Nice to know that we were able to go from 3rd to 1st, taking it 3 wide into turn 1. We were obviously able to take the lead. Clean air meant so much in that Watkins Glen race, even though I was using the steering wheel. And Allgaier looked strong in stage 1 in that race and ended up finishing 9th. Didn't have a strong ending to the race as what he did at the very beginning. All over us right now looking for the race lead. Never got to lead any laps at Watkins Glen. He's trying to lead laps here at Mid-Ohio. So at the end of lap number 1, we've got about a half-second lead, and everybody else is about 3 seconds back. So we'll just have to see how this is going to roll. Nice to know that we did lead lap 1 in this thing. Now we can run about 17 laps on a full tank of fuel, and with there being 20 laps in the opening stage of the race, everybody will start the race 3 laps short to the end of stage 1 on fuel. So we'll likely have to pit at some point in time in this stage, and tire wear does play a huge factor on road courses, of course. Running it with the controller, we won't burn the tires as bad as if we were to run with the steering wheel. Definitely got to get through these shifts nice though. Curbs don't seem as violent as what they are at Watkins Glen. This is a little bit slower of a road course though at the same time. Not running quite as high of speeds, a lot more turns, not as long as straightaways. There is one really long straightaway on the racetrack. Elevation changes, there are quite a few. Haven't been here in person, believe it or not though, despite the fact it's in my own home state, but who knows, maybe I'll make a surprise trip this year. It's not on the agenda right now, but we'll see. Yeah, leading the first 2 laps of the race, so that's a good start. Pulled ahead about another half-second on that second lap, too. I think just trying to maintain the lead. Keep it calm here early in the race. I don't really feel pressured. The steering wheel, I felt pressured with only this much of a lead. I felt like I had to hit my marks perfect, which I do here with the controller. Definitely don't want to make any mistakes, but at the same time, won't be as exaggerated, excuse me. Through these sets of corners, I've noticed that's where Allgaier seems to beat us. For the most part, at least. Allgaier looking for the lead again. This many turn road course here. This course is just over 2 miles in length. And we already have a caution. Wow. So on lap number 4, I believe. Yes, lap 4, we have our first caution of the race. So I'm quite surprised it came that early in the event. But we'll get to see how this is going to work now. We might have some drivers maybe hitting pit road, perhaps. It's definitely not impossible. Only driver hitting pit road right now is Zane Smith, and he might have been involved in the wreck.
Coming to the green, driver. Almost ready. Bring down, let's go.
Well, it's good that you were able to catch the beginning of the race, so that is awesome.
Right side clear.
Gonna take this one into turn 1, barely able to clear Justin Allgaier that time. Put up a pretty good fight. He definitely seems like the driver we're gonna have to beat here, as we are hard on the brakes into this very, very sharp through turn 2. Now down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. It's got a little bit of a right-hand kink in it, but we're gonna call it a straightaway. Another hard braking zone into turn 3. Man, we are almost missing our braking zones. Braking very, very late. Justin Allgaier still behind us. He was a threat at the last Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen. That was also ran on a road course. Very unique part of the schedule for the Xfinity Series, where we have a 3 out of 4 race stretch on road courses, including back-to-back races, and this is the second of which, and here comes Allgaier. He is there, now looking for the race lead, side by side, into the final couple turns. Oh my goodness, I don't know how we never made contact, and we're still side by side, trying to side draft off one another. Now there's a little bit of contact. Pretty clean racing for the most part, though. Nobody can get an edge. Austin Cindric just behind us as well, looking for one of us to make a mistake, and we're going to power past Regan Smith through the shifts, going into the hard right-hander in turn 2 once again. So we are right on the border of being able to make it on field to the end. We're still about a lap short. And the only driver that is good on fuel is Zane Smith, believe it or not, all the way to the end of the stage. But it might just be a little gas and go situation. Again, we'll see how the tire wear is. Oh, a little wide. Here comes Allgaier now to our left. He's going to try to cross us over in the next corner. Now going down to the right. The heat is on. We definitely got to keep the clean air. I know when Allgaier can get in front of us, that is where the problem will lie. So our car might not be able to handle as well. We're probably not going to be quite as fast. Allgaier all over our back bumper. Cindric not going away this time either. He's got redemption at this one. Top 4 pretty much nose to tail, just waiting for one another to make a mistake. How patient will they get, though, before people start using the bumpers on each other? Not able to pull Allgaier at all here. He's staying pretty even with us. If not, he actually closes in on a couple corners off the curbing through turn 2. Got a little loose, and we are able to accelerate on by the 7 still. We actually were able to beat him back to the gas despite getting really loose. Goes to show how violent the curbs are on these road course races in particular. And now trying to get the car slowed up into turn 3 again. We actually hit our marks pretty well that time. Accidentally downshifted to first there. That could have been bad. Luckily I realized it pretty quick. Really don't want to go down to first gear here. You're in second to third gear most of the way around the track. Very rarely you have to actually upshift all the way to fourth gear. Again, not a lot of super high speed parts of this racetrack. Only one real long straightaway. Finally starting to pull away from Austin Cindric, and I think that's because Noah Gregson's trying to battle him hard for third, and he actually just passed him. And now they're still side by side, and I've noticed when you're side by side, it really takes a lot of time out of the lap times that you are currently running. If you were single file, now we get loose out of nowhere. Contact with the 7 car. Around we go, losing control. What happened there? That was crazy. Off the curbing again like we did a couple laps ago, but that time we completely lose control. The damage looked like it was significant at first when Allgaier hit us, but it doesn't look as significant in the upper left-hand corner of the screen there. But we definitely are going to lose the lead for the first time today. There's no way we're going to lead this lap at the line. And we go from first all the way back to fourth. Just crazy. Just plowing through these corners. Yeah, this car doesn't, it feels like it's a little tighter. Some of it might be that contact in the front bumper of the car too, but dirty air is definitely not helping. Get right in these draft of these guys. It might help with the straightaway speed at times, but that's really about it. Try to catch Austin Cindric again, so we really got to stay off the curbs there if we can, through turn 2 especially. It's kind of scaring me every time we're going to roll into that corner now. We're already halfway through stage 1. This opening stage going by quick. If we want a shot at playoff points, we've got to keep it going. Man, I did out of any road course on the circuit, and now we're off the track. Oh man, we really just got to calm down here, regroup ourselves. It's only the first stage of the race. We obviously want to try to get a playoff point for winning the stage, as well as the 10 regular season points. Just don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like we're faster than this 22. We just got to set him up and get close enough in the right corner and then strike to make a pass. Down to the inside on Cindric. Trying to side draft off of him out of turn 1. We're going to have the advantage and we will clear him now going into turn 2. Really holding the brakes, trying to hug the inside line, right around the curbing there, making sure that Cindric can't get by us. Now we'll try to pull away. So we're back up to third. The problem is, after racing Cindric pretty hard there, we are now about 6.5 seconds off the race lead, and about 3.5 seconds back from Noah Gregson in second. This could be a fuel mileage race to the end of the stage, of course, too. Everybody's going to be on the border of making it on fuel, except for Zane Smith, who was at the rear of the field, but he's a lot slower compared to us leaders. I think he was back in 36th when he hit pit road anyway, so we'll have to see. 6.8 seconds back in the lead at the line, so this time over the course of the entire lap, we'll get to see who is faster between me and Allgaier. Looks like a time trial lap coming up right now. I'm afraid Allgaier's faster than us. The way he was able to stay right on our rear bumper until we did make that one mistake, he was able to pounce on it. He almost got caught up in it too. I mean, again, there was contact, but luckily it wasn't significant enough for both of our cars to have heavy damage. Because even Noah Gragson hasn't even really caught Justin Allgaier at all since then. Staying pretty even with Noah Gragson, still about 3.5 seconds off the race lead, but seems like Justin Allgaier is pulling away here just a little bit this last lap. Again, we were 6.8 seconds back of the lead at the start-finish line the last time. This time at the start-finish line, 7.4 back. So we lost about a half a second to 0.6 of a second that last lap. Pretty good corner through turn one. We actually gained a little bit of time. Carrying a ton of speed out of turn two as well now. Oh man, curbing is so violent. We were up on two wheels there for a little bit. Took a while for us to come back down. Right when we were starting to gain a little bit of time on Noah Gragson too, we quickly lose it. We're now about 4 seconds back of second place. I don't know what I want to do here. I don't know if I want to try to save fuel so I can make it to the end of the stage and hope that the top two run out, or just try to pit early and hope that we can gain some track time with 4 fresh tires in hopes that they pit also. We'll obviously have to try and stay in front of Zane Smith still too. I think I'm going to play just a little bit of risk here. I think we're going to pit. We're going to take 4 fresh tires. And I'm going to hope that the leaders are going to have to pit as well. Pit road does close with 2 laps to go at the end of the stage. So we will have to make our mind up pretty soon. If I don't pit this lap, I'll probably end up pitting next lap. I mean, we're catching Noah Gragson again here, but yeah, we'll pit this time. So on to pit road now. We'll take a 4-tire pit stop.
5 laps to go.
No need to really repair damage. I don't think we've got too much on the front bumper. So 4-tire stop. We'll take a half can of fuel. That'll be just enough to get us to the end. A little splash and go. Trying to make this pit stop as quick as possible. So we're going to try and short pit here. The worst case scenario that could happen is somehow everybody makes it on fuel. I think we were going to be about a half a lap short, so I'm going to assume everybody's going to have to pit. But if they don't, we're obviously not going to win the stage. And we'd be lucky just to get back into the top 10 to get any sort of stage points. But we'll get to see how these Ford Fresh tires will fare. We should be a lot faster than these guys. And honestly, if we stayed green, we only fell back to 16th. Quickly got around John Hunter Nemechek. And maybe the race leader of Justin Allgaier might catch lap traffic as well. That could slow him down quite a bit compared to where we're at. We do have Ray Black Jr. just in front of us. We'll try to get around him as... Man, these corners are just so tight to be running side by side, and I think that's part of why we tend to lose a lot of time when running side by side. Took us a couple corners to get around him, but nevertheless, we did pass him for the 14th position on the racetrack. I'm just hoping that everybody ahead of us, all 13 of them, hit pit road. We're still about 8.5 seconds behind Garrett Smithley in 13th. So we're probably not catching him anytime soon. Then again, I'd be surprised again with the Ford Fresh tires compared to their older tires. Might show something here. Be interesting to see if I stay out at the end of the stage also. I think there's a good chance I hit pit road. Maybe just to top off with fuel, and that's probably going to be about it. Then maybe try to split the stage in half second time through. We'll be right on the border of fuel when we start stage 2 again. Difference is if they don't pit before the end of this stage, then that means they're going to yeah, if they don't pit at the end of the stage, they'll definitely pit at the stage break. And assuming that they're obviously all going to take Ford Fresh tires, that would then mean that we're going to have about 5 to 6 lap older tires than them. So now we've got 3 laps to go on the stage. Pit road will close this time by. Now you could pit still technically, but you would have to start at the rear end of the field and take the penalty. So if you don't see anybody pit this time, then they are not going to pit unless they completely run out of gas. Or somehow blow a tire. I don't know what their tire strategy is actually looking like. So Allgaier just passed the start-finish line. It did look like there are some takers on pit road. But how many? Doesn't look like much. Definitely catching Garrett Smithley. We did catch him a lot quicker than what I thought we would. 8.5 seconds. We caught him in, what, about a lap and a half? 2 laps almost? So we are quite a bit faster. 2 laps to go, though, in the stage. If we can get to the top 10 and still somehow score a stage point, every point goes a long way. We're going to blow by Garrett Smithley pretty easily. That's probably the easiest pass I think we've made all day. At least in the first stage. You got to figure, we're only about 20 laps in. It's only a 75 lap race too, though, so it's not long at all. About a quarter of the way home already. Josh Bilicki in 12th. He's not too far ahead of us as well. I can see the 11th place car of Tommy Joe Martins now. A little contact with Bilicki. Car spun around. It's Cole Custer. He is sitting there. And that is going to allow us to get into the top 10 if we can get around Tommy Joe Martins. So what a miraculous turn of events. We are going to get into the top 10. And I don't know if we would have gained 6 seconds on Justin Haley. Got some drivers on pit road. We're going to get around them. Just one. It looked like Justin Haley might have ran out of gas, so that might have been why he was on pit road. Now can everybody else make it to the end? Justin Allgaier, you can see him down on the track map on the lower left-hand corner of the screen. He is not too much further away from the finish of the stage. We're up to 9th now. We might have a shot at Justin Haley for 8th. 3 seconds back on the middle portion of the racetrack now. Oh, almost went wide. We did go off the track a little bit. It didn't hurt us too much, though. That curb hurt us quite a bit, too. Yeah, we're still catching Haley, but I think it's too little too late. Justin Allgaier is going to win stage number 1 here at Mid-Ohio. Yeah, we got some other guys running out of gas here at the finish line, too. That's not going to help any of them. Oh, Justin Haley goes a little wide. I think he thought about pitting. He is burping on gas. He is out of gas at the line. So we couldn't gain any more spots. What a crazy fuel mileage race to the end of stage 1. So Justin Allgaier does win the stage. Yeah, won't repair any damage. We're not going to pit for tires here. We'll go fuel only. Full, yeah, we'll just fill it up full. So we're going to restart in 7th rather. No, 8th. I don't know what that was, a little bit of a glitch there. So we will restart in the 8th position. We did not take tires. Everybody else is on fresh tires. So we'll see. Oh, a little contact there, trying to thread it 3 wide. Everybody on the brakes hard through turn 1. Now we're stuck 3 wide in the middle. This could get tight now. One of the tighter corners on the racetrack. Oh, right up the middle again, just trying to bust our way through. Probably should have dropped the 2nd gear. Quickly, we got this 20 car back up to 3rd. And right on the back bumper of the number 9 of Noah Gragson, driving it in deep. And can we get it to stick? Not quite. Went for it all there for the 2nd spot. Really don't want Allgaier to pull ahead from us too much. The sad, unfortunate truth is going to be that he's likely going to pull away from us because we're on older tires. Be lucky to get around Noah Gragson for 2nd. We had an opportunity to do it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be meant to be. I don't know. We got through that last corner pretty well too, though. 16 laps to go, stage 2. Again, we will be right on the border of fuel. A little bit of a bump and run there through turn 1 rather. Taking the opportunity that we could to get up to 2nd. Can we somehow, some way on older tires try to catch Only 5 laps could make a difference on a road course, though. That's a long time. No, we did not get on. I did everything I could there all the way down to neutral just to get the car to sit. Couldn't do it. So after overdriving turn 3, we're going to lose another spot. See if we can get Gregson back. Yeah, we're racing way too hard for second, allowing Allgaier to pull away even more now. Just shows how difficult these road courses are. These stock cars are not built for these kinds of racetracks. It's one of the ways it makes these kinds of races not only unique but entertaining as far as the racing product is concerned. We're really, really good through those last 2 to 3 corners on the racetrack. We pull right to the back bumper of Gregson now. Look at him trying to block us. We're going to take it to the inside into turn 2. We'll try to make the pass again. We're going to get it to stick, and we're going to clear him up off of turn 2. Christopher Bell back up to second again. 3.5 seconds behind Justin Allgaier. Well, again, he is just pulling away from us. Got to really make sure we don't overdrive these corners anymore. Good job that time. Late dive by Gregson to our left. Couldn't get us though. Already 53% tire on that left front. We're really burning it up pretty quickly.
Far left. Clear left.
We stay green all the way through stage 2. It looks like it's going to be another fuel mileage race in this stage, just like it was in the first. Problem is, we went fuel only to try and get some of our track position back under the stage break, and that's going to hurt us in the sense that we are definitely going to have to pit for tires. Again, I'm trying to split the stage in half if at all possible. If I can make it anywhere between 7 to 10 laps to go in the stage before I hit pit road, that'll be ideal. And we'll have the fresh tires again. But we will need these guys to pit. We're not losing as much ground here as what we were in stage 2. I think we did get a little bit faster over the course of this race. I think we're just hitting our marks a little bit better. And honestly, if we were on equal tires, I think there's a good chance that we'd either be equal with Allgaier or we'd actually be a little bit faster. Not really caught up in his dirty air though, because he is 4 seconds ahead of us, but he does have a little bit cleaner air than we do. So obviously he is nowhere close to the lap cars yet in this stage. You probably won't catch him for about at least another 5 laps or so. So our only caution of the race so far came out on lap 4. We have not had one since. We do know we will have one more restart at the end of stage 2 for sure. Slightly pulled away from Noah Gregson, though, who is in third right now. We're about a second and a half ahead of him. So the third and final stage of the race is going to have 35 laps. That'll definitely be interesting to see how we dissect the stage. We'll try riding along with the in-car cam and we'll see how this goes. This might be a little trickier. But we'll give you a feel of what it's like to ride inside the Xfinity Series car here at Mid-Ohio. Just gotta really make sure you don't overdrive these corners, and you'll really get to see how the elevation changes are on this racetrack as well over the course of this lap, as there will be some blind corners more so towards the middle of the lap. Oh man, you saw how loose we were there, trying not to overcorrect it. Now up to third. We'll drop it back down to second. Just very tough. You get on the gas, I mean, it really, I can imagine it really wants to throw you back into the race car. So that's one of the few times we get back up to fourth gear, quickly down to third. We'll shift to second here, and we're already going to run about a full lap. A little less than a minute and a half to get around this place in total time. We now have 10 laps to go in the stage, so we did our job. We cut the stage in half so far. Not sure exactly how many more laps will stay out. I think there's a good chance we're going to pit this time. Trying to hold Noah Gregson behind us at least long enough. Man, Allgaier's out to about almost an 8-second lead. Just crazy.
You got room. You're clear.
Off the curbing. Oh, trying not to overcorrect it into the 9 car. He goes around behind us. We got really loose. He tried to check up, and I don't know if he hit us. Felt like he might have. Oh, man, now we're all over the place.
All right, you're clear.
Loose again. Contact heavily there with the 19. Brandon Jones. Gregson was able to get turned back around. Luckily, he only lost a couple spots, but a lot of time on the racetrack, that is for sure. Yeah, we're going to pit this time. Our tires just, they were feeling fine a lap ago, and then all of a sudden, they just went away in a hurry. A couple scary moments there. We almost wrecked multiple times on that lap, and luckily for Noah Gregson, when he went spinning, that there was nobody else to really hit him. He was able to get the car turned around pretty quickly. So 4 fresh tires here. Full tank of fuel coming. Trying to split this stage in half once again. We'll still have 2 more sets of tires in which we can take 4 fresh Goodyears. come out side by side with Michael Annette right now for 18th. We'll get on by him. So again, we've got about 10 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field right now. Oh man, went a little wide through turn 2. That's going to cost us quite a bit of time. That's the worst time to miss a corner is turn 2, because it messes your straightaway speed up so much on the longest straightaway of the racetrack. You want to carry as much speed as possible before having to back it down into turn 3. That's where you're going to gain the most time on this racetrack to your competitors. So this is going to be interesting. We got 4 cars here about nose to tail. We're faster than all of them with the 4 fresh tires. Going to try to outbrake Kaz Gralla if at all possible here. Now trying to get to the outside of Jeff Green in the 93 car. Almost slid up in front of us. So we do clear Gralla. I don't know how we're going to get around Jeff Green. We might have to try it on the straightaway here, if possible. Off the curbing, trying to stay off of him. We have so far. There we go. Jeff Green almost got back the inside of us. Didn't let it happen, and now we'll try to drive away as we have gotten up to the 16th position again. Just trying to bounce back. Of course, again, though, it's another fuel mileage race. How many of these guys are going to be able to make it to the end of the stage on fuel? We were able to finish 8th in stage 1. Where will we finish in stage 2? Can we get at least some sort of stage points again? Impossible. The third time I've accidentally downshifted to first gear. Really trying not to do that. Ideally, I want to be in a good position at the end of stage 2. And depending on how these pit stops will work out at the end of stage 2, I want to be in position to try and take the lead shortly off the restart. Because if we don't get another caution in this race, we've had a pretty long green flag run here. Again, haven't had a caution since lap 4. We could be in trouble as far as trying to win this race, because Justin Allgaier's definitely got the car to beat. We're arguably the second fastest car with Noah Gragson. It's kind of hard to tell who's faster between the two of us. Gragson did lose quite a few spots though after he went for a spin, so he might be a little easier to gain. So it might just be a race between us and Justin Allgaier, but Allgaier, he won stage 1, and if he saves enough fuel here, he's gonna win stage 2. He's got a big lead. I don't think the lap traffic's gonna cost him too much time here. Only 5 laps to go in stage 2, so we're getting pretty close again to the end of this fuel run. Can we try to steal any sort of stage points again this time? It's kind of sad the position we were put in. Hindsight is always 20/20, but if we could have hit during that first caution, we might have been in a little bit better strategy, I think, overall. But we stayed out with the rest of the leaders. Tried a little bit different strategy there, pitting at the end of the stage. Yes, we still got stage points, but as far as the race win went, that might have been our only chance. You never know. We haven't had another chance to take the lead from Allgaier since. We have run quite a few laps since. We are back up to 15th for right now. Catching Garrett Smithley for 14th. We're going to have 4 laps to go at the line this time. So here we go, 4 to go. And I mean, really, you could think about it too. We had the lead up until about halfway through stage 1. And the only reason we even lost the lead is because we made a mistake spinning ourselves out in turn 2. And that's really the only major mistake we made in this race. I'm not going to count the different pit strategy not working out as a mistake. Because I don't really think we gambled. I think we actually played it safe more than anything. If we would have gambled, that means that I would have tried to stay out on fuel. We could have lost a ton of spots if we would have ran out. I just didn't like the play call there. We saw guys running out, but they were able to coast it back to the start-finish line. I know Justin Haley was one of those guys. Nobody pit that time. We now have 3 laps to go in stage 2. Trying to hop back over the curb. I think there's a lot of back marker cars here we're going to catch in lap traffic too, and that could be costing some of these guys. Off the curbing in turn 2 there. Still getting the car to roll around pretty well. Justin Allgaier in the bottom left-hand corner. The screen is gonna not pit this time, therefore, just squeezing in there, man, 3 wide. We're gonna make the pass on Garrett Smithley. That was a risky move. We didn't want to check up any more than what we had to. We've got to go on these 4 fresh tires. We're probably gonna pit at the end of the stage for tires anyway, so. Trying to really burn them out at this point. Now on Tommy Joe Martins, that got tight with Barcella, just able to squeeze through those 2 as well. So we'll get around Martins for position. Didn't see if anybody pit that time. I don't think anybody did. Caution, and that will end the stage prematurely, so everybody will make it on fuel, unfortunately. And there is the yellow. Josh Williams went off the course. Not sure if it was just him or maybe somebody else went off. So we have our second caution of the race to end stage number 2. So now we're in a situation here. We're going to pit 4 fresh tires. We'll go half can of fuel. That'll be enough to fill it up to the end of the stage. Williams has actually scored an 11th right now, so I don't know if he might be out of the race. We gained a spot. Yeah, Williams is either out of the race or had to repair a lot of damage, so we'll be restarting in the 12th spot on the racetrack. The green flag will be back in the air here at Mid-Ohio. We're taking the risk all the way to the outside here, going into the first turn. Everybody on the brakes hard. Oh, we accidentally downshifted to first. I did not want to do that. I was thinking I was in third downshifting to second. I was actually in second downshifting to first. And yeah, no real shot to go for the lead here. We're going to drive it in deep into turn 2. That'll quickly get us up to 4th. But again, no shot to get to Allgaier, at least that time again. It is going to be so tough. Try and catch him over the course of the race. Oh, trying to outbrake Cindric. That did not work at all. And that was similar to what we tried to do on Noah Gragson at the beginning of the last stage. Didn't work out then, and it didn't work out now. Side drafting off the 22 of Cindric. We're going to beat him back to the gas, and we're going to move up to 3rd. So from 12th to 3rd, on that lap, do we have anything for Justin Allgaier? And how about Noah Gragson? He is holding on very well right now. Remember, he went for a spin and I went for a spin, and yet we're still running 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack. 33 laps to go in the race yet. Man, look at how hard we're pushing it right now. Just trying to catch up to Gragson. Only a second behind him and only 2 seconds behind the race leader, Allgaier. But I give kudos here. Noah Gragson's putting up a fight with Justin Allgaier, at least trying to. Allgaier's by far led the most laps in the race. He's won the first 2 stages. Hard on the brakes there through turn 3 again, and honestly, we didn't really lose time that time. We did actually gain on Gragson. I'd be pushing the car a little too hard again. Allgaier seemed like he's been far from making a mistake this entire race so far. So it's just tough to see him making a mistake anytime soon. We're still only a second behind Gragson, but we lost about 0.4 of a second that last lap to Allgaier. Turn 2, probably the best opportunity for us to gain any sort of time. And it's tough to say if we really gained or lost any there. I think we beat Noah Gragson back to the gas. Oh, I think we overdrove it. Yep. Into the sand now off of turn 3, trying to get back onto the racetrack. We didn't lose any positions, but we did lose a lot of time. Man, it's so hard to push the car as hard as you can without making a mistake. Every lap of the restart, we finally made the mistake. Now we just got to lay back again and try to recover. Really our second major mistake of the race. And that little bit is just enough of a difference to make from first place to not finishing first place. Not saying Allgaier's not going to make a mistake before the end of this one, but I mean, I guess you definitely never know. Chase Briscoe out of nowhere. He's trying to make some moves, and maybe he can move up. Oh, he gives us a little bump. He's trying to really get around us now and waste no time whatsoever. Able to just get in front of him and block him off now. And that's going to allow Austin Cindric now to get underneath of Briscoe. Be nice if I could win on my home track here, but I just don't know. I'm one of those people that have a never say die attitude, but I mean, this is this is so tough. It's been a while since we've seen one driver just dominate a race, especially in the Xfinity Series, like Allgaier has dominated this race today. I mean, you can't even really compare the 10 laps I have led to the 10 laps he's led. And now we get loose again, and that's going to cost us some more positions. Stuck in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, we got to get in reverse. This is costing us a ton of time. Things just got from bad to worse. That is going to drop us back to 9th on the racetrack. We just got to race our own race here and try to manage anything we can. This race started off so good, and then it progressively has gotten worse throughout the course of the race. And we're to that point now where it's so hard for us just to catch a break. 29 laps left. That is not a lot of time at all in this one. Probably going to need a caution at some point in time. I just don't know when would be the right time. For those of you still watching though, hopefully you guys are enjoying the race, the broadcast. Over the course of this one, it has definitely been an intriguing race to say the least. We haven't led many laps, and all the laps we did lead was at the very start after starting third, qualifying fourth. Justin Haley, who qualified second in this race, has really been a non-show in this one in the back half of the top 10 the majority of the race. We did not get stage points in stage 2, but in stage 1 we finished 8th and got 3 points. Speaking of 8th, we just passed Jeremy Clements for the 8th spot on the racetrack. We're trying to get away from him. 28 to go at the line. Again, we're about second or third quickest in this race. Seems like me and Gregson are pretty even when we run clean laps. It's just whoever's in front will have that clean air advantage. But we've definitely made a few too many mistakes in this race. And overall, still a good points day is what it's looking like if we finish inside the top 10. It'd be nice if we could somehow stay undefeated on the road courses over the course of the year. Try to go 2-0 here. We got Road America in a couple races as well, coming up here in a couple days. Next race on the Xfinity Series schedule, we will be short track racing tomorrow night at Bristol. So that'll be a fun one. Again, more to come. I'll be posting stream schedules for the week. That will be coming out tonight, some point after this race. We are closing in on Tyler Reddick and Cole Custer, who are both in front of us right now. So I have noticed that interval is definitely getting smaller. Actually, somebody just in front of them as well that we are catching, so got a shot to move back into the top 5 here fairly shortly. When do we pit? If we try to cut this third and final stage in half, we'll still be on the border of trying to make it a one stop to the finish. We've only got one more set of Goodyear tires in which we could take 4 fresh tires. We're going to just try to run this set as long as we can. Oh boy. I got a little scared there, my heart about dropped. I thought we were going to wreck. I've been very fortunate though that all the spins, well, only 2, we've only spun twice, but been very fortunate the 2 spins we have had, that we've had minimal damage at best. And we were able to save the car from really getting into the wall at all hard or anything else of that nature. Tyler Reddick a little less than 2 seconds ahead of us now. If we don't catch him by the end of the lap, I think we'll definitely catch him next lap. A lot of break through turn 3 again. Reddick now a little less than a second ahead of us. Remember, we can go about 17 laps on a full tank of fuel. Looking to the inside of Reddick. For position. Trying to get the advantage on him. Back to the in-car cam once again. And for the final time today, big slide job coming through turn 1. Reddick got to cross us over and complete the pass himself. So a great battle going on for 7th here between us and Reddick. Driving it in deep now into turn 2 on the curbing. Very loose. Gotta make sure we're careful when we accelerate. Look at how loose that car got. We were really trying to keep it clean on the inside of him. We could not complete the pass. And we'll keep trying to go right back after him. Gonna outbrake him through turn 3. Catch up a little bit more again. Woohoo! Coming in hot that time. Oh. Great run off of the final couple corners there. We're going to try to get alongside of Reddick again. Look at this. Look at him trying to block us now. Down into turn 1. We're going to accelerate by him. He cannot have a crossover move that time. We will clear Tyler Reddick for the 7th position. Now we'll try to run down Cole Custer in 6th, and Brandon Jones, who is just ahead of him as well, in the 5th position on the racetrack. Back laps again. I just downshifted into first gear there by accident. Oh, driving it in a little deep. Got to keep the car on the track. It was a close one. That was a close one. Still about 3 to 3.5 seconds behind Cole Custer. And everything we can here to try and catch him. Bouncing around off these curbs. Again, just very violent. In all the racetrack. Not a lot of access roads on this track. So we can only run about 6 more laps on a full tank of fuel here. I think there's a good chance we pit this time. Man, down to first again. Becoming a bad habit in that same corner. I think that's turn 5. We turn 5 like every time. And look at how loose we're getting. We're on the verge. If we go another lap, we might end up spinning out again. We're going to try to pit. No, we got to go one more lap. It's still too early. And that's the problem. We're put in a very tough position here by not pitting right now, but and I think it's just what we've got to do. Lap traffic here just in front of the drivers racing 4 position. We haven't really pulled away from Reddick too much. He's actually kind of staying fairly close to our back bumper. Pulling a little bit into turn 3. Mainly because we're going to try to make sure we get around Barcelo no problem, and we did. Yeah, we might have another fuel mileage race, I think, to the end of the race. Wasn't as bad in stage 2 because the caution kind of saved everybody. Caution coming out with still 2 laps left in the stage. It's a matter of who can manage their tires the best. Oh, a little wide again. Oh, contact now. Tyler Reddick was there. Contact was made. We're all over the place just trying to... So we not only lost a spot to Reddick, but we also lost a spot there to Jeremy Clements. Big slide job going through turn 2, trying to get around Clements again. Side by side off the exit of 2. Drag race down the long straightaway. We're going to beat him. Easily getting into turn 3. Let's make sure we don't slide the tires.
right side.
And there he goes right back. Just pulling in front of us, using all the racetrack. We're sliding sideways. Our tires are gone at this point in the run. Really having to check out of the throttle quite a bit just to keep the car going. And now we're, man, just loose again. Just really trying to drive this car as best as we can, tiptoeing around the racetrack. We got to stay out another lap though, unfortunately. Want to make sure we're good to the end on fuel. That and who knows, maybe caution comes back out again at some point. Not impossible. We're going to need a caution too though if we're going to want a chance to win the race anyway. Justin Allgaier's just way too far ahead of us. We've only got one more set of Goodyears left too, so whether we deal with this now or we deal with it at the end of the race, and I say might as well get it done and over with now. I would not want to, if we do get back to the lead, I do not want to have to try to hold on to the lead with this bad handling of a car for the final 3 to 5 laps. Now I do have to say also, we will not be able to hold on to the lead for this long on these tires, I guarantee it. It's hard enough just to hold on to what, 8th or 9th? I mean, we see how fast Allgaier is. Oh boy. Contact with Mike Harmon there, lap car. Cost us quite a bit of time too, because Clement's going to pull back away from us again. All the leaders staying out at least one more. Well, not all the leaders. Some drivers hit pit road this lap. 19 laps to go in this race. When will we hit pit road? Probably this time. It's a good chance we're going to hit pit road this time. We only got 8% tire wear left on the left front. And it's hard enough to handle as it is. If that tire blows, we're definitely going to spin out. And we don't want to be the reason we have a third caution in the race. Got lucky with our couple spins. We're low on fuel. Catching Clements again. Oh, I don't think we're going to get the car slowed up in time. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. But again, Jeremy Clements getting back around us. And now we're on 2 tires. Bouncing off these curbs. Mills in the way right now of Jeremy Clements. Oh, Clements was looking to the outside of him. He couldn't get around him. We're both just being held up big time right now. Ooh. A little more contact again. A lot of drivers are pitting. Race leader Justin Allgaier actually pit that last time because Noah Gregson's shown in the race lead. And I think Allgaier just pulled off the pit road just in front of us. Yeah, that goes to show how quick of a stop he had. We haven't even pit yet and he's still ahead of us. Yeah, we're going to need a caution at some point. See, the thing is, they might be short on fuel. We can only run 17 laps. And we have 18 laps to go right now. Some of those guys have already pitted, so we might be able to make it on one stop to the finish. Everybody else is going to have to pit at the time. So that's the strategy we're playing here. Downside is we're losing just so much time on these old tires, especially compared to those who haven't pit yet. And honestly, I didn't even see that left front tire is about to give out any second here. Fortunately enough, we only got 2 turns to make it. Yeah, left front tire just went down. Trying to keep the car on the track. Oh no!
You're going too fast. You're almost out of gas.
So we're gonna make it onto pit road. Unfortunately, we already blew the left front tire, and that's gonna cause a lot of damage on this car, but we cannot repair that damage. We've gotta keep on moving. So we're gonna be right on the border of fuel. 4 fresh tires. Man. Back on the racetrack we go. So we've got 17 laps to go. Yeah, blowing that left front tire definitely gave us quite a bit of damage. Justin Allgaier in the race lead. We lost a couple spots. Again, we're now back to 10. But everybody, we have about a lap or two more of fuel than everybody else on the racetrack. Will that be enough to make it all the way to the end? If we get a caution, that might split the strategy as well. If we get a caution, we're staying out of the pits. We're going to try something different. We're going to try taking track position. We're going to try to hold on to the damaged race car and old tires. I mean, it's not a match made in heaven, but might be the last chance we've got. Tommy Joe Martin's going to hit pit road, so he was ahead of us. So actually, we went into the pits in 9th. We're averaging 9th, and we came out averaging 9th because I didn't realize Tommy Joe Martin's had pit until just now. So we didn't lose any positions. Because remember, we were battling with Clements before the pit stops. We had a caution in each of the first 2 stages, and with this last stage being 15 laps longer in the first 2 stages, I think there's a good chance we get a caution at some point in time. When will it come, of course? I overdrove the corner again. A lot of pretty heavy lap traffic right now with all these backmarker drivers towards the rear of the field. Trying to get away from Clements at this point. It's about 6 seconds behind Tyler Reddick. Now about 5.5 seconds back at the stripe that time. About 40 and a half seconds behind the race leader, Justin Allgaier. 2 lap pressure tires isn't going to do a whole lot. I think it's just a matter of who can get through the lap traffic the best. And they should be short on fuel. We're going to be borderline on fuel as it is. Well, I can all but guarantee that they're not going to be able to make it. Quickly get around Chad Fincham, pretty good sprint car racer himself. Fincham ran a few years in the World of Outlaws series. So we'll run with the normal cam now for the rest of the race. We got 14 laps to go to this point. Another fuel strategy portion of the race, but this time it's going to be for the win, and who will have saved enough, who pitted at the right time. We'll get to see. I do have to say though, we're definitely staying out all the way to the end, especially if we stay green. I mean, that's the strategy we're rolling with here. We can win this race leading single-digit laps on pit strategy. That is A-okay with me. A win's a win. Barely able to stay in the gas, just got around and cleared Stephen Light all before we got into a corner. So that's pretty good. Got around him a lot quicker than it looked like Tyler Reddick got around him. Now only about 4 seconds behind Reddick. Again, we are definitely a little bit faster than Tyler. Got about 13 to go, and we have about 13 laps left on our current fuel tank. I don't know if I want to caution to bunch the field up. I don't know if that's going to give us a better shot to win this race, or if just hoping everybody runs out of gas is going to be enough, because the first time we pit, Justin Allgaier came on just ahead of us by about a second off the pit road. Tyler Reddick really being slowed up by the lap car of Chastain. They almost made contact there as well. Oh, now they did make contact off that final corner. We're going to try to go 3 wide up the middle. What a move by Christopher Bell to get the position on Tyler Reddick and quickly getting around the lap car. Dicey right up the middle, but we got it done nevertheless. By far the gutsiest move we've made all race, but with only 12 laps to go, you got to pull off all the stops. See, if they try to save fuel all the way to the end too, maybe they just run out trying to make it. I mean, that could help us. I really don't know what the best strategy is here. I know we're definitely going to run it dry. And if we don't make it on fuel to the end, you know for a fact the rest of the guys either pit before that or they are obviously not going to make it. I mean, we pitted about 2 laps later than everybody else. Still about 10.5 seconds behind 6th place Cole Custer. And Austin Cindric's in 5th, in fact, right now as well, and he's not too much further ahead of Custer. In fact, they got a good battle for 5th going on with each other. About a half second to a second in between the two of them. So it only took us 1 quarter to get around the lap car of Joey Gase that time as well. So that's pretty good. Wow. So we haven't gained or lost any time from the race leader, Justin Allgaier. He is still only 40 seconds ahead of us. He had a 35-second lead first time we pit. Came out a second ahead of us. So ideally, if we're going to want to take the lead for sure, we're going to have to probably be about 30 seconds behind him at the time he hits pit road. Honestly, at this rate though, if we finish anywhere better than 7th, it was a good call if we stay green to the end, because we will have gained a spot one way or another, and if we don't win, it just wasn't meant to be today. Allgaier about to cross the line this time, and once he does, there will be 9 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio. Everybody getting more and more spaced out too on this very windy road course. And the more spaced out we get, the less of a chance of a couple guys getting together, bringing out a caution. We've seen spins throughout the course of the day, and we've stayed green. See that a lot on road courses, as long as there isn't a huge pile-up really, or a multi-car accident where the guys cannot get going. That is the only time you really see a full course caution. So now we're only about 8 seconds behind Cole Custer. So got 50% tire wear left on that left front with 9 laps to go. Tommy Joe Martin's pitted a lap after us, by the way, too. So what if Tommy Joe Martins ends up winning this race? I mean, I don't think he will, but who knows? A little wide through turn 4 again, able to keep it on the racetrack at least. Now we're only about 7 to 7.5 seconds behind Custer, so we're definitely gaining time at least on the 5th and 6th place driver. We'll wait till we get closer to him before we try checking the interval here with the race leader of Justin Allgaier as well. But I think we're at that point in the run with us pitting 2 to 3 laps later than everybody else. I think our tires are starting to play a lot more in our favor versus them, at least for this couple lap stretch here. We're about 39.5 seconds off the lead still, so we've only gained a half second. Oh, second to a half second more, and now into the sand. No. That's going to cost us some time. Into the sand off of turn 2. I think we got lucky. We got extremely lucky we only lost a second and a half of time. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. And in fact, we are still only about 7.5 seconds behind Custer, so he must have made a mistake too. I remember he was sitting spinning. He didn't get stage points in stage 1. Because he spun around, it looked like off the exit of turn 4, I believe. He was just sitting in between turns 4 and 5. We got around him. It was a nice free spot, otherwise we would have finished 9th. But I'll take an 8th place finish. 1 extra point. Custer still looks like he's caught behind a ton of lap traffic right now. Yeah, I could see quite a few cars that we're getting closer to. And I'm sure Custer's probably one of them. Good corner through turn 1. We're going to easily get around Jeff Green. He's not going to block us. He's going to play nice with us. And this is where the best possible situation to catch a lap car is on these, well, the one lone long straightaway on the racetrack. And we'll take it 3 wide going into turn 3 if we have to. On the bottom, we will. This is going to get tight. But that was the easiest way we could have gotten around any of those lap cars. Obviously, it took Custer and Cindric a long time to get around them. And we got around them in no time, so. Again, they have to pit, though. So we're definitely going to get around Cindric and Custer for sure. If we can get around them before they have to pit, that would be nice. Quickly to the inside of Ryan C. Short little right-hander. Keeping him clear in the final turn there, and now we only have 6 laps to go. So 6 laps to go at Mid-Ohio. It's crunch time. Well, it has been, but now it's even more so. Who will win? These road course races are just really wild card races as far as the playoffs are considered. We only have 5 races left until the playoffs after this race, and still 4 more spots are open for anybody that could be a new winner that has not won yet. We've had 8 different winners over the course of the season. There are 12 spots in the Xfinity Series playoff field. So now we're just pushing the car to its limits. Caution with 6 laps to go. That is unbelievable. We have a caution with 6 to go, and that will shake the field up again. Wow. Varying strategy here. We got some guys pitting, some guys staying out. Only 14 drivers on the lead lap. It goes to show how much of a lead Justin Allgaier's had. And it looks like we got a couple guys risking it on older tires. I think track position's going to pay off a ton here. We're going to be one of those guys staying out. So we will be restarting in 3rd. The top 4 drivers staying out of the pits. Here we go, guys. 2 laps to go. A shootout to the finish of the race. Green flag back in the air at Mid-Ohio. Who will get the win? Quickly into turn 1. 3 wide for the lead. Custer down to the bottom. Gonna clear Gregson and Brandon Jones. Unbelievable. On these older tires, can we hold on? Trying to push the car as hard as we can. It's only a matter of time before somebody with 4 fresh tires is going to get up to 2nd and try to run us down here for these final couple laps. Brandon Jones has the advantage on Noah Gragson for 2nd right now. Christopher Bell trying to steal the win at Mid-Ohio. The caution, timely, giving us at least our best opportunity since the beginning of the race to not only have the lead, but maybe set ourselves up for the win. Our tires are about shot right now. Oh, a little bit of a slide. Yeah, it's going to be tough to hold on these very old, worn-out tires. Brandon Jones, he's challenging for the lead. It's all going to come down to this. Only 3 cautions the entire race. Not many at all, but the white flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go, and now Gregson and Jones are side by side for 2nd behind us. And that's what I want to see, is those 2 battling as hard as they possibly can. We're going to get through turn 1. We've still got the lead. And now Jones able to fend him off for now. He's still going to hold on to 2nd. Into turn 2, about a 1.5-second lead still on the field. Good corner that time. Justin Allgaier up to 4th. How quickly can he get around the 2nd and 3rd place drivers now to try and catch up to us? Taking it easy into turn 3, just try not to slide the tires. We don't have a big lead whatsoever, but we don't want to spin out. We'll definitely lose the lead if that's the case. We are so close. Very loose again. You can see how worn out that left front tire is. Probably down under 20% tire wear. Brandon Jones, he's catching up. Here he comes, back to the back bumper again. Only 4 turns to go, and they're going to be quick ones. Now only 2 turns to go. Jones looking to the outside. Allgaier going to gain a spot. Jones, one last shot. Loose on the final turn. We spin. Jones with a last lap pass for the win in the final corner. And a heartbreak for Christopher Bell. Oh my goodness, what just happened? A spin in the final corner. We got so loose trying to catch the car in second gear, and we slid into, I believe, Allgaier. And Jones is gonna get the win. Allgaier ends up second. What a turn of events. We gave it all we had. Our tires were shot that entire last lap and a half. And Justin Allgaier, another heartbreaker for him as well. He tried to play catch up from 5th to 2nd those last 2 laps. What a crazy finish. 15 drivers finished on the lead lap. Unbelievable. Post-race comments. How do you feel after the race? You gotta be tired after such an intense race. What would you do differently? Well, I don't know if there's anything I could have done differently. If we would have pitted with the rest of them, we would have restarted. I mean, we probably would have restarted right around 6th or 7th where the caution came out. And we saw how track position played so much of a factor over the course of the race on those restarts that it was going to be tough. Yeah, I think I made the right decision staying out. It would have been tough to get around those guys, for sure. I'm just so stunned right now at what just happened. We were leading literally 100 feet from the finish line on the final corner of the race, and we lose it. I mean, it just got way too loose. I tried to save it, but I mean, the tires were shot, and I'm surprised I didn't even overdrive it. I did save it. It was just too much. Wow. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm not gonna lie. I would be spent if I used the steering wheel. I used the steering wheel for a road course race yesterday, and I was wore out after that. I didn't want to do it 2 days in a row. Plus, I've had a long day. I've been up since 4 o'clock for work. So, just gonna finish editing my scheduled video. It'll be out soon. Hopefully you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. It was definitely a good finish. Very intriguing race throughout, a lot of fuel strategy. And then all the strategy basically went out the window for the green-white checker. We had the lead coming to the finish on the final corner. We lost control on old tires. Brandon Jones sneaks by with the win. One of the drivers that also stayed out. That's going to be all for this one. If you're new to the channel, we got daily NASCAR content. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.